Hi, I'm Paul Begley. Let's talk for a minute about this fire, this UFO over top of Jerusalem, over the Dome of the Rock Mosque. I know I haven't addressed it. It's been 9 days. I haven't touched it. I've been researching it and I've been in prayer about it. But there's been even articles written about me on the web saying Paul Begley has not spoken about the UFO over Jerusalem. Well, I'm ready to address it. No, it's not a UFO. I'm sitting outside of McDonald's in Indianapolis, Indiana, because I got free Wi-Fi, and it was time to address it. It's not a UFO, okay? It's not aliens. No. It's not a fallen angel. That happened already. When Lucifer was cast out of heaven, a third of the stars fell, the Bible says in Revelation, or he drew his tail and a third of the stars, or a third of the angels of heaven fell. And you can read about that again in Isaiah chapter 14. Lucifer, son of the morning, that has fallen. No, it's not. But it is an event. I've seen videos of it right here on YouTube. I've seen one where Arabic men are standing on the Mount of Olives. How do I know it's the Mount of Olives? Because I've been on the Mount of Olives. I've stood in that very area, and I know what it looks like from that distance. And they had a good view of it on their videotape. I seen on the video where Jewish men had it on videotape. And they even had a better view. They were a little closer. I seen a videotape where a bunch of Americans have it on videotape. They're up real close. And there's even this lady from Mississippi on there. She says, I've seen stuff like that in Mississippi. Well, I don't think it was like that. In other words, there's been a lot of different events or a lot of different videotape, even a split screen right here on YouTube. It shows it simultaneously. So it is documented by several different videotapes and eyewitnesses, a lot. But what is it, Begley? What is it, Pastor? Well, first of all, you need to know this has happened before. That's right. When the children of Israel left the land of Egypt, and they crossed the Red Sea, and they were headed toward the Canaan land, to the promised land, by the hand of Moses, the Bible says that God led them by a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. That would be a fireball in the sky, hovering above them and leading them out of the wilderness toward Canaan. So that's an example of the fireball. Also, we know that when Jesus was born, the Bible says there was a star in the east, a star in Bethlehem, over the place where he lay. And they would know how to get to the area where Christ was born, because they followed the star. A fireball, a star is a fireball. Even the wise men seen the star in the east and traveled a great distance. And how did they know where to go? They followed the star, which then would have been hovering over Jerusalem, because the Bible says that the child had been moved in from Bethlehem into Jerusalem by the time the wise men got there. So, having said that, that means fireballs or stars or fireballs like that have been seen in the Bible back in the days when the children of Israel were leaving the land of Egypt. It was seen in Bethlehem with the birthplace of Christ, and it was seen in Jerusalem where the Christ child was staying. It's not a UFO. See, I always go back to the Bible. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that goes on now has already been done. God has already used this power. And so, so you might say, okay. Then what, Paul Begley, tell us, what was this phenomenon? What was the purpose? On what was it? Late January of 2011. What was the purpose? Oh, you do know that a baby was found abandoned yesterday on February the 8th, 2011 in the Dome of the Rock Mosque. A baby, a newborn. And some people were saying that the aliens that night left this child, that this is the Antichrist, and that this child, or that this is a chosen one that will lead us to peace and show us the menorah. Show us the nirvana, the peace. No, this was a baby that somebody abandoned in the Dome of the Rock Mosque. This is a baby that was left behind, just like babies are left behind in every major city in the world. But I will say this. There was an event that night in Jerusalem. And I've been in prayer. God, what was it? It's not the warning. And it's, Jesus is coming back on the clouds of great glory and great power. Yes, fire and brimstone is going to fall from the sky one day and destroy the earth. Yes, you did already do that too. Because you burn up the twin cities of Sodom and Gomorrah because of their sexual perversion. Yes, again, nothing God has done, he hasn't already done. We're living in the last days. So what was the reason of this event? And look at the timing of it. Blackbirds falling out of the sky. Fish floating up all over the earth. Dead. Cows pitching over in a field in Wisconsin. 7,000 buffalo and cattle dying in Vietnam. Fulfilling the prophecy of Hosea chapter 4, verses 1, 2, and 3. Yes, we've seen signs in the heavens and earthquakes in different places and all kinds of tsunamis and volcanoes and plagues and famines and diseases and hate and murder and nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom and 5 people in a house, 2 against 3, 3 against 2, divorce rates, babies being aborted, blood everywhere. Yes! So what was the reason for this star or this fireball? And I went to God in prayer. And you know what God told me? In prayer, in my spirit, he said, I've done this before, Paul. Don't you know? That is Mount Moriah. This is where the temple of Solomon was. That is where the temple was. That's where the Holy of Holies was, inside the temple, the tabernacle, right there. In the Holy of Holies. The Ark of the Covenant, the mercy seat of God. And when the priest, the high priest, on the Day of Atonement would enter in with the blood applied and his garment spotless, and with the power and the compassion of the salvation of God's chosen people, as he got inside the Holy of Holies, there was no light in there. It was total pitch darkness. The veil was so thick. The Bible says that God lit the place up. And so, because of that, that is the fire. And he said, and this fireball was hovering, but it can't go into the holy place because the Dome of the Rock Mosque is there instead of the temple. Wow. Does that mean the third temple is going to be built? Does that mean next to the mosque, maybe? In place of the mosque, maybe? I'm Paul Begley. I'm going to leave this for you to decide. And if you're watching me right now and you're not a Christian, nothing to fear here. Jesus already died on the cross, rose from the dead, has the keys of hell and death, is sitting on the right hand of the Father, and he's soon going to return to redeem the children of God, those that have been born again. So if you're not saved, send me a private message right now. Say, Pastor Begley, I want to be saved. I want to be saved. And I'll help you through it. I'll give you scriptures. I'll pray with you. We'll get right with God. I'm Paul Begley. You decide.